For those of you who don't know, Shin Buddhism is a form of Japanese Buddhism that developed in 13th century Japan. And we'll kind of go through how that happened and who were the important players in that. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go through is this page from the Jodo Shinshu, a guide. And on one page, it calls itself The Essentials of Jodo Shinshu, Kyoto. And the name, they say, is Jodo Shinshu Hongwangi Ha, and that is the name of the temple or our tradition of Buddhism. Jodo Shinshu is the way the Japanese call our religion. Here in the United States, we use both that term, but we also use the term Shin Buddhism. I think we're trying to make it an easier religion to connect with. So when you hear Jodo Shinshu or Shin Buddhism, it means the same thing. It is I think what I'll do is I'll break down that title, Jodo Shinshu Hongwangi Ha. Jodo means Pure Land, and Shinshu means true teaching. Hongan refers to something called the primal vow that comes out of the larger sutra of immeasurable life, which I'll talk to a little bit about in a moment. And then Ji means temple, and the word Ha means sect or school. So if we try to put this all together, Jodo Shinshu Hongwangi Ha means school of the temple of the Pure Land teaching of the primal vow. So that's kind of a mouthful. For your information, there are 10 schools of Jodo Shinshu or Shin Buddhism in Japan. And the two largest is our tradition, which is sometimes referred to as Nishi Hongwangi, and the other tradition is Higashi Hongwangi. And I'll talk about those two in a bit. Our founder is Shinran Shonin, who lived from 1173 to 1262. So he was from the 13th century. So our representative Buddha is Amida Buddha. There are numerous Buddhas in all the traditions of Buddhism, maybe hundreds of Buddhas. And our focus is on the Buddha Amida. And he comes out of something called the Larger Sutra of Immeasurable Life, which you learned about, I think, in the last class with Reverend Mutsumi Wondra. So going to our principal sutras, I just mentioned the Larger Sutra, which technically it's called the Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. We usually refer to it as the Larger Sutra. It's the longest of the sutras, and in a photograph of the sutras on the Naijin, they kind of look like candlesticks. And they're usually it looks like four rolled up scrolls. And the two largest scrolls on the right side are the largest sutra. The next sutra that we consider our primary sutras is the Sutra of Contemplation of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life, also known as the Contemplation Sutra. It's a sutra that came out of China, as I'm sure you already know. And then the last sutra is the smallest of the three, called the Sutra of Amida Buddha, which is also known as the Amida Sutra.